We are live from Crusaders headquarters. I am King Nico, and if you are watching and listening to this stream, you are the resistance. So welcome everyone. We're going to go over a couple of things today. It's regarding Eric Dubay and all the work that he took from us and tried to pass on us his own. And then it got really weird when people started to give him credit for it. And I was like, okay. So thanks to True Christian for staying vigilant with that and keeping me aware what was going on and for me to speak up on it. So I want to show a couple things here. So it was January 14th when I posted this video here titled Final Experiment Fakery. It was posted on January 14th. So let's just quickly show the date. So January 14th. So this was the video I posted that I pretty much took back from what Eric Dubay took from us and posted and copied his script because he copied all of our timestamps and all the work that we did. So everyone in the comment section was calling me a thief. Even this guy here. So Mr. Deadpool debunks. The first video on his channel here is of me, Flat Earther Exposed, King Nico's shameless content theft. We showed you that video. And on the same day, January 20th, Creaky Blinder also posted a video, Copycat Flat Earther Can't Think for Himself. I believe we went over this video too. I don't know if you remember Jaren. So Jaren, 4 days later on January 24th, during his podcast, had this to say.
So that's true. That's true. But for this week's Dirtball of the Week, let's get the music going. You are the best Dirtball of the Week. There it is. It took me too long to open now. All right. Thanks, Enrique. Dirtball of the Week. Yes, many dirtballs exist. They are everywhere. Look around you. Always performing some dirtball activity. Often they don't even realize how dirtball they are. You may be sitting next to one right now. Your husband, your wife, your brother, sister, your child. Help them change before they become Dirtball of the Week. We wouldn't want to see that happen.
Yeah,
Who
Dirtball
has
of the
Dirtball of the
Week.
Week? Well, let's say that it goes this week to royalty. Oh, all bow to the soft-spoken, but just extremely deadly. Just so good at debunking. Have you guys met King Nico? Oh, he's the best. He is the best. He put out a great video this week. We wanted to cover. Let me bring this over. And you guys tell me what you think of this one, because I mean, it's just top notch. Really, how many things do you get to see like this? Let's start it out. It's a good video. Let's watch.
As footage continues releasing and astute internet sleuths.
So Jaren posted that video on the 24th after Creaky Blinder posted a video calling me a thief, after Deadpool Debunks posted a video calling me a thief. So he jumped on the bandwagon with these globe earthers, shall we say, and flat earth debaters. And he knows full well that it was us here, Crusaders of the Resistance, that pretty much were breathing down the necks of everyone involved in TFE to expose the fake experiment that it was. True Christian is here right now saying Eric Dubay is an antichrist who leads people to hell. Therefore, all godly people care when he steals a Christian's work and passes it off as his own, and the truth is Jesus Christ. So thank you for that. So let's get back to it. So Jaren jumped on the bandwagon knowing full well that it was us that did it and not Eric Dubay. Has had nothing to do with the exposing of TFE. So it wasn't until I agreed to do this debate here with Culture Cats. So Culture Cats has been following for a while, thankfully, because he realized something and he posted it on one of his pre-debate shows and addressed it. So thank you to Culture Cats for catching that and chiming in. You didn't have to do that, but it was the honest thing to do. So we go back to Deadpool debunks now. and we showed the video of him bringing it up, but he still had some parts missed out. So he's made a final video now. So it's King Nico, The Last Word, plus NASA's secret humanoid robot. So let's check this out from Deadpool Debunks.
Had deactivated the automatic noise removal and room echo, and I've only just realized while I'm editing the video. Now, I can't go back and record it all. Well, that's not true. I could go back and record everything, but I'm pretty lazy. Please bear with me. I do apologize. It's not great, but it'll be fixed moving forward. For now, enjoy. Howdy, folks. It's your old mate JP, and we're going to talk about King Nico again. I know, but this is important. We've got a bit to cover, but first of all, in case you missed it, after my last video, the man, the myth, the legend, Culture Cats himself popped up in the comments and gave me some encouragement and feedback, which was amazing, and a shout out on his own community page. So, Cats, thank you. I really do appreciate that. That is amazing. You are far, far, far too kind. He also provided some clarification. I'll put the comment on the screen and give you the gist of it, but you can read it in the comment section of the last video anyway. Go and watch it because there's some funny stuff in there. But essentially, Cass did it all off his own bat and told the story because he wanted to. And that's absolutely fine. That's not a problem. Later on in my video, I said, you know what? We haven't heard that from Nico or from his lips. Turns out we have, and I was wrong. So I did commit in that video to certain things, and I'm going to do that today. But first, I want to play you a little clip that I'd missed. Full disclosure, while this debate was going on, I had headphones on, my phone was off to the side, and I was listening to it like a podcast, working at the same time because I have a day job. This part completely bypassed me and didn't register at all, and that is entirely my own fault. And I should have double checked before I buy it off with both barrels. But let's have a look at the clip. It's a real thing. There's no AI generated voice. There's no 360-degree Amazon volume studio involved here. This is from the 8 out of 10 Cats debate between Culture Cats and King Nico. Let's take a look.
We have more soup chats. This one from Jiffy Cones. Now, Nico, I'm going to answer this one for you and then pass to you. It's a question to you, but you know I know the answer. Guess what the question is? You know I'm on your side on this.
So why did I copy Eric Dubay's video? Is that what it is?
That's the one. I'm going to answer for you and you can tell me how wrong I am or how right I am, but I know I'm the same.
Okay.
I watched a stream. So Jiffy Cones, yeah. Why did you plagiarize Eric Dubay? I watched a stream of Nico before I got in touch with him. And on the stream, he basically said why he thought the final experiment was fake. And then a couple of days later, Eric Dubay made his video and he literally took the same screenshots, every single argument that Nico had presented in his live stream, every single one, including literally the same screenshot snaps. And he put it together in his own video and didn't credit Nico for coming up with them. So in my opinion, Nico did a very hilarious bit of trolling back by stealing his video. Nico, how close am I?
That's perfect. And I have a sense of humor too, right? And the thing is, it wasn't just all of my work and ideas that went into debunking TFE. It was the whole community that came together. So it was a collective. It was other people's work, and they were relying on me to get it out there and share it. And for Eric Dubay to come along and just rip it all off and go post it and take full credit, you know, I wasn't going to sit back and allow that to happen to myself and the crusaders of the resistance that we have here. So obviously I'm here to speak up for not just myself, but for everyone else involved that looked to me as a voice. So I had to step in. I gave him the chance to speak up and join us and come say something, but no, he doesn't care. So I felt that was very insulting, very disrespectful. So if he wants to show disrespect, I could be disrespectful back too, right? And that's exactly why I did what I did with that video.
Nico, we've disagreed a lot tonight, but one thing we can agree on is Eric Dubay is a prick.
Of course, yeah.
There it is. That's what I'd missed, and that's what I'd asked for in the previous video. Shout out to Jiffy Cones for asking the question. Katz has reiterated his take on events, and then Nico has confirmed it in his own words to the camera and to the audience. And I will absolutely, as I said, give credit. Nico has said that what Eric Dubay did by stealing the content of his live streams and the things that he went and looked at that Nico was ripping off from Twitter with his community, The return of the resistance was insulting and disrespectful. And Nico, you are right. I agree. What Eric Dubay did was absolutely insulting, absolutely disrespectful, and he should have credited you as the source of his information, which he didn't do. Anyone who saw Nico's debates or conversations or content that saw Eric Dubay's video and didn't think, hang on, we've heard all this before, he's just getting that from Nico. There's probably part of me that assumed that you guys have been in touch or he'd reach out and ask. That's on me for assuming Eric Dubay was a decent person. But as Kat said,
Eric Dubay is a prick.
so for me, that ends the King Nico thief versus troll issue. Did he steal Eric's video? Yes, he did, but he had a very, very valid reason for it. And as I committed to, I'll say it right now. In this instance, Nico is 100% in the right. He is justified in his actions. I've called him a thief, and he is not a content thief. What he did was point out the hypocrisy and the shittiness of Eric Dubay. Pardon my French. Nico is in the right on this issue. He is wrong about absolutely everything else that he believes. Everything else is rubbish. Don't believe a word of it. But when Nico says he stole this video to get back at Dubay as a troll and to point out how insulting and how disrespectful that it was, I will back Nico on that. Yes, Nico, you are in the
Shalom,
right.
Nico.
Nico,
Shalom,
bring
Lacey.
out it.
Sorry, I was
Now,
reading your
all of that
comment.
being said, we can get back to the fun stuff. Nico said something else during.
Okay, before we continue on with that video, so you heard it all there from Deadpool Debunks. I believe he is somewhere in Australia. Shalom to Lacey. Yes, Carl Taylor says Aussie, 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 oi, oi, oi. that's an old British thing we used to do back in England back in the day. So yeah, I big shout out to Deadpool Debunks. Yeah, he was very quick on the mark to jump down and blast me on the internet for being a thief and put me out there, right? But he was also very quick to go back and say, yep, I was right, he was wrong. So all respect to you for that, Deadpool. So for coming out. So we got Jaren. So Jarenism, he just did a live the other day. So after calling me out for being dirtball of the week last week, he had to come back and change his mind this week. So check this out.
Show, what do they call that? I don't even know. But
You want to hang out all day?
Excuse me. So let's get these ads out the way.
oh, we should probably. Shoot, what is this? No, we don't want that. I forgot that we do have to do our very exciting section, or what do you call it? Yeah, it's a section. It says show section. I would call it that, or a show theme, or a show.
Hi, Sue Polito, and yes, thank you, Lacey. Thank you, Miss Robin Nicole.
So this is the. I just wanted to point out that I made a mistake last week. Not a mistake. I still think King Nico deserved to be Dirtball of the Week. But one thing I didn't realize is there was a reason, supposedly, that he copied Dubay's video word for word. And so that actually makes him this week's Dirtball of the Week. So let's get on with that. And we will find out why he did that. What could he possibly be thinking? Well, I'll tell you. Be quite easy. So it is time for the Dirtball of the Week. And it goes to Eric Dubay. Eric Dubay, you win Dirtball of the Week. Should be excited about that. So what he did is, I guess, this entire video is stealing from King Nico. So what he did is he made a video and took all of King Nico's research, put it in his video.
Stop, Steven.
Of it. King Nico, after the fact, saw that and said, oh, I'll just go take that video back and read it in my voice since he stole all my material. So they both win Dirtball of the Week. Yes, many Dirtballs do exist. Look around. There might be next to you. Make sure that you tell them so that they don't become Dirtball of the Week. But for this week, it is Eric Dubay, and he is the biggest dirtball that there is. Who knows where he's at, what vaccine injury he's getting paid out for today. Mr. DC himself, Mr. On the scene first, but absolutely essential to the fragmentation, the segregation of the flat earth community.
Okay, so that was Jaren coming out, having to go back on his Dirtball of the Week last week, calling me the Dirtball of the Week for stealing Eric Dubay's work, which wasn't true. And Jaren full well knows that wasn't true, but had to jump on the bandwagon anyway. And now that Deadpool debunks and Culture Cats had to come out and say, no, Nico wasn't in the wrong, did not steal anything. It's actually the other way around. It's Eric Dubay. You know, the people that held Eric Dubay as this great flat earther that woke so many up. Well, that may be true, but it's also the way that the CIA and the government will put their plans in to make sure it is that way, that it's their agents that are doing the majority of the waking up and the sharing of the truth. Okay, so let's get back to Deadpool debunks. Finish off his video there.
During the Q&A portion of this debate that I'd forgotten about until it was pointed out in my comment section. A big thank you to Timo Lynch149 for jogging my memory, because as we've seen in this video already, apparently it's worse than a freaking goldfish. I'm going to play the clip for you in a moment, but I've also done some internet sleuthing and a little bit of research on my own, because obviously now I'm here with a debunk channel on YouTube. I've got all my awesome NASA SHIELD connections and CIA PSYOP people and everything else working for me around the clock, which is great. It makes life so much easier. But I found some really interesting footage. Turns out this video is all about supporting Nico and backing up his claims. This guy is just spitting truth all over the internet.
What is your preferred programming language and why? And what is your preferred machine learning library? I have no idea what those questions mean. So,
So I've learned all the languages from C++ to Python language, which is pretty much the main one. I know it used to be like Java and all these kind of languages, but thankfully times have changed and it's a lot easier now to do coding and to code. So basically I learned how to code humanoid robots with human emotions and to do tasks like laundry, do dishes. I'm able to program driverless cars to do taxi service or Uber service without an actual driver, to go around town and do routes, and it's some unbelievable stuff.
Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Come on, DP. Clearly, this is all a load of crap. He's just made up on the spot. There's no way this can be true. I was right there with you. I thought it was a load of rubbish. But then the CIA, PSYOP, FBI, NASA SHIELD people came and delivered my weekly intelligence package that I'm now entitled to as a YouTube debunker, because their reach from NASA obviously extends here to Australia because we're all part of the big global conspiracy, right? Oh, crap, I said the quiet part out loud. Shh. Anyway, I've had a look at the footage and he's on the level. Nico's spitting truth. He's telling the truth yet again. So right here, right now, on DP Debunks, for the first time in human history, I can share with you King Nico's advances in robotics and artificial intelligence. You're not going to believe it. Prepare to have your minds blown.
Because obviously he's taking the piss, right? So we're gonna get into it. So obviously he had to move on after having to apologize and say that he was wrong and I was right. He had to go straight back into the mocking and the making fun. But it's I got some stuff to back this up. So yeah, it's true. I did do artificial intelligence coding last year. So here's my marks. I graduate next week, actually. So you can see the course here, artificial intelligence, distance education. So I did it online. You can see the programs there up from the bottom up: modern robotics, natural language processing, speech recognition systems, computer vision and image analysis, reinforcement learning explained, deep learning, principles of machine learning with Python. So it's all there: Python language, basics of C++ language. So yeah, I kept quiet because I don't announce everything on the internet because people like to ruin good things. So now that I'm graduating now and the course is over, I can safely and happily say, yeah, I've finished it. My marks, I'm shocked, is probably my best report card for any course I've ever done. So it looks like straight A's to me. So yeah, and I was excited. I knew what was taking place in the world. I know Revelations, I know the Bible prophecies, and I know that AI is a huge part of the beast of Revelation. It's the number one tool that's going to be used by the Antichrist and Satan, right? So I saw the opportunity and jumped on it. Everyone's like, no, artificial intelligence is not a thing. It's just a gimmick. And now look, fast forward 1 year later, now that I've graduated, and what did Trump do just a week ago? He announced that his first day in office that he will be announcing $500 billion for AI infrastructure, for AI disease jabs, right? So it's all coming. So I appreciate all the support. If I did tell anyone and stuck by me, but I'm sharing it now. Thank you, Sue Polito. Appreciate it. True Christian, yep, great marks. Congratulations on your education. Thanks a lot. So let's get back. So there, I got the marks to prove it, and from the course right there. So I know a thing or two now. Still got lots to learn. Don't know everything.
For 300,000 Angelinos on it at one point, but now anyone can get a robo-taxi in this 80 square mile zone that essentially stretches from Santa Monica to downtown LA. And I have to admit, I've been on the fence about getting in one of these things. I've seen them everywhere, but tonight I finally had to try it.
It is the most advanced, fully autonomous driving technology in the world today.
And now it's available to everyone in LA. It's designed to be really easy to use. All you have to do is download the app, put in your information, and then request a ride. Now, I've done this several times, and it keeps saying that there's server errors, but now it says I have a ride coming in 2 minutes. And there it is. I almost want to wave to it, but obviously there's nobody inside. But I know that this one is mine because it has my initials right there, CE at the top. So I should just be able to unlock it on the app. Pretty cool. Let's check it out. All right, so inside we've got nice music playing, obviously no driver, and I've got the prompts here on the screen, so let's start ride.
Hello from Waymo. As we get going, just give us 1 minute to cover a few riding tips.
After some safety reminders, we were off through the Fairfax district, navigating through hundreds of cars and pedestrians. Our car did have to honk a couple times.
So you can see here, it's called Waymo. So it's out there in California, in the West Coast, LA, San Francisco, driverless autonomous vehicles. I learned how to program these things to do routes and obstacle avoidance. Like, this is really happening. It is really, really happening. So there's your driverless autonomous vehicles. It's not a conspiracy. We got humanoid robots. I've shared this for a while now. It's not just Tesla. We got this company named 1X that has launched the Neo robot. So you can search for humanoid robots on YouTube and see that it is not a gimmick. It is not sci-fi movies. It's not Star Trek or Star Wars. It is actual reality. There's people working in factories that are building these things for Tesla. So let's see the website. Neo, home humanoid. So you can see it's dressed in clothes to make it look more human. You can see the movements. It's got 5 fingers, a thumb. We are advancing very, very fast. Many are called and few are chosen. Yes. Jesus is King, the one, the only. So you can see the robots. We're going to save that for another show, but it's all there just to respond to Deadpool debunks from down under, saying that we're spreading conspiracies, but no, this is actual reality. So get ready. This is really, really happening. So let's get back to some more Deadpool debunks. So if you'd like, I suggest you could subscribe to Deadpool Debunks. I'm not sure if he's had other channels before, but he's definitely on it now. He's making some great content. So that video with the AI and the files, like that's really well done. So even though you're trying to make fun of myself, I appreciate some good edits and some well thought out humor. So well done, and thanks again for the retraction and the apology. So yeah, I've done a couple of debates, and I'm not a debater. I did debate when I first woke up to flat Earth back almost a decade ago now. I was just on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever. I wasn't doing videos, right? So, but still, it would take up most of my day arguing with people you couldn't even see or hear online, sending comment sections on my post on Facebook regarding the Earth being flat. So after I knew that I woke up a few people. I have those messages saved. You can find those on my Facebook. A lot of people in their own time will wake up. But arguing with people online for one day is not going to wake anyone up. So I decided to save my energy and move on from doing that. But now, because of TFE and me coming as I did into the movement, loud and doing whatever, exposing all the shills. Everyone now wants to debate me, and I guess there's no harm in doing it. I know they're trying to make a fool of me and say that, oh, I'm dumb and I'm a fluff and religious fluff or whatever they want to call it. But again, I've done like 5 or 6 now with all the top guys, and you know what? No one's doing anything. They have no globe Earth proof, right? And yeah, so it's safe to say I'll keep on doing them. I'm not gonna chase them down, but yeah, I did one with Culture Cats. Most recently, I did one with Max. So Deadpool Debunks did a review of it right here.
That's me.
And
Howdy, folks. It's your old mate GP, and strap in because King Clown Nico has done it again. In his latest debate with Max, he dropped some of the wildest claims about telescopes I've ever heard, and I have heard some stuff. To set the stage, this debate was actually about the Bible and whether or not it supports flat Earth.
Thanks, Carl. Thank you.
Along the way, Nico took a hard left into NASA projecting images directly into people's telescope viewfinders territory. I want to give a huge shout out to the Drunk Debunk Show for hosting this debate. It's one of my favorites. It's an awesome channel. You should definitely go check them out and subscribe. And of course, we can't forget Max's channel, Matters Now, because Max absolutely obliterated Nico in this debate. It was a masterclass in dismantling nonsense. So, while the topic of the debate was the Bible, we're not going to talk about that here on the channel because, frankly, I'm just not that interested in the topic. But something I am interested in is
space.
damn right, Tim Curry, the moon and planets and all that sort of cool stuff. During the debate, Max made an excellent point against the claim that the moon is its own light source, and to support his argument, he showed an image of the moon. He showed a few, actually, but let's have a look at the clip and then we'll talk about it.
I am about to prove that the moon is not a light. So special thanks to my friend Seafoam, who gave me these pictures. These are all taken with his own telescope, and I unfortunately don't have one.
This was
But
created. This was like
no,
Unreal
fuck
Engine.
you.
Unreal Engine 3.
This is my friend who took these pictures with his own telescope. And these are all pictures of the moon. The moon is not a light. The moon is...
Sorry, Max, I hate to interrupt, but for some reason, this just cracks me up.
And these are all pictures of the moon. The moon is not a light. The moon is
Yeah, that's me, juice box. So I've been known for bringing juice boxes with me. I've done a lot of screaming and shouting and yelling over the past 3, 4, 5 years now. Canada's a cold place, so I always just tuck a couple of juice boxes in my pocket because it's convenient. There's the size perfect, as opposed to a bottle or a can. And once you open a can, you know what it means. So, um, yeah, I've taken juice boxes around with me. So here's some images. You can Google me, just King Nico protest, King Nico drag protest. You can find stories of me here in the news and the papers. So here's one from me, posted by Karima Saad, or taken by Karima Saad, and the papers used it and gave her credit. So here I am on the left in an olive green hat and jacket, standing with Crystal Peters at the Boston Pizza anti-drag protest on December 11th. As you can see there, I got caught with another juice box there in the paper.
reflecting the sunlight.
You want a juice box and some string cheese?
No, so again, that's old news and getting into science with all that reflecting and
Nico, the only
sun
thing
and
that you're
moon and
showing,
eclipsing.
the only
I
thing,
can destroy that.
no, you
So-
can't, because these are actual pictures from a telescope, and this clearly shows that you have never in your life even used a cheap telescope, because anyone who uses a cheap telescope will see exactly this.
Max, hang on. Next.
This is from when he got a better telescope than the one he was using before, so you can actually see way more detail.
Go back, zoom into these pictures quickly, because we're not taking, no.
Yes, these are telescope. You just hand wave dismissal is not an argument.
Now, as much as it pains me to say this, we have to give Nico a point on this one.
So these are pictures from your friends. Not even NASA has these images from their telescopes.
Yes, they do. They have even better ones.
Yeah, we already gone over everything that NASA has is all fake and composite imaging and CGI video and green screen, aquatic arena filming.
Yeah.
Now the moon's got colors. Who's ever seen the moon like this with blues and browns and grays? This is ridiculous.
The
So
moon has
obviously
colors.
this is created on a computer program. This is not from some telescope.
100% incorrect. The moon does have colors, and there are techniques that you can do when processing.
Wait, say that again. So now the moon has colors?
Yes. When you process the image through the telescope, when you have a high-end telescope, you can actually get these images, and I can send you the image, and you can go and find other images that look exactly like this from other people.
Wow.
Max is 100% correct again with that point. And importantly, remember this because it'll come up in a second. He mentions processing the image. It's just in the next section, he says something about the moon and the picture's a little bit different.
There are amateur astronomers who get together and point their telescopes at the things in the sky. And if you go and talk to them, you can find them on Facebook, you can find them on Twitter.
Listen,
They
they're
will
doing the same thing.
Shut
that
up,
NASA's
Nico.
doing.
I'm not done. They will gladly tell you, hey, we're meeting next Thursday in this place. And if you go, they will let you look through the telescope with your own eyes. And you can see exactly this.
Yeah, Nico kind of gets a point there too. Sorry.
No, you're not going to see exactly that.
Yes,
you're
you're
going to see a blurry light source in water.
In water? What?
And that is their composite image of what they saw. They're doing the same thing
Nico,
that NASA's doing. They're just painting up computer-generated images of the telescope.
I promise I'll get into more detail in a second. It's just this next bit is great. Max is the best.
Hold on, Max. Hold on. Let him talk.
Hand wave dismissal is not an argument. Why instead of saying no, this doesn't work, no. Instead of doing that childish temper tantrum, why don't you go and meet the amateur astronomers in your area and look at it with your own eyes. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of truth? Yes, you are. I will take the silence of concession. Thank you.
That's just great. Max's overall point here is rock solid. The moon is reflecting light from the sun, not glowing by itself. But there's just one small issue with the image that he used. While this absolutely is a real photo of the moon, it has been post-processed to enhance certain colors that aren't immediately visible to the naked eye or through a standard telescope. Now, don't get me wrong here. This is not a criticism of Max at all. He was correct that the moon has color variations. However, even with a high-end telescope, you won't see the vivid colors shown in that processed image. The natural color differences on the moon's surface are way too faint for the human eye to detect without additional processing or specialized filters. So here's the image again. This enhanced image reveals different mineral compositions on the lunar surface. That's what you're seeing. The blue areas show regions rich in titanium, like Mare Tranquillitatis. That's a mouthful. The orange-reddish areas, or brown, as Nico said, indicate iron-rich regions in the lunar highlands. So these colors are real, but they require image processing or specific filters to be visible at this level of detail. Even if you have a high-quality telescope, the moon will still appear mostly in grayscale or with very, very subtle color variations. To see the vibrant detail in the enhanced image, you'd need to use special filters.
So first of all, not anyone has access to these telescopes, right? The telescopes, from what I'm hearing, you need certain permissions, and I'm hearing people having their telescopes, government permission just to buy these fancy telescopes that can look up to the sky, towards the firmament, right? So don't let them try and fool you about this whole telescope thing. You can go to Best Buy or Walmart and buy a telescope. That's okay. Those aren't going to show you anything, right?
Filters or apply digital saturation adjustments post-capture. That means after taking the picture. The reason I'm bringing this up is because Nico and other flat earthers love to dismiss any image they don't understand as CGI or fake. But in reality, this kind of post-processing is a common technique used by astronomers, both professionals and amateurs, to highlight details that our eyes can't normally pick up. Point of order, just in case you're wondering, your eyes are a terrible, terrible scientific instrument. So in regards to this picture, this is not faking an image. It's bringing out details that are already there. It's along the lines of spectroscopy, which, as we all know,
Spectroscopy needs to be in a container.
Thanks, Dirth. So just a quick recap on this little section. The moon is not its own light source. It reflects sunlight. End of story. The colors in the enhanced image are real, but they're way too faint to be seen this vividly without processing. And with a high-end telescope, you will still see the moon mostly in grayscale unless you're using specialized filters. You will not see exactly what you see in that image. Again, I find myself having to do something I've done way too often in the last couple of weeks, and that is saying, fair play, Nico, fair play. You weren't 100% wrong. You're not 100% right, but you weren't 100% wrong. But now it's time to get some more points on the board for Max. He was on about 10,000 by this point, so if we check the scoreboard, it looks like this.
No.
The debate continued and the discussion turned to more things about photography, and Max made a point about flat earthers taking pictures with their camera of choice, the P900 or P1000 from Nikon or Nikon.
So yeah, this debate goes on. He goes on to go over it until okay, let's see this bit, because Max shows us some telescope image of Jupiter spinning.
To meet up with you and show you so you can look through this freaking telescope, which is super expensive.
Wow. You just debunked yourself with all this crap, man.
No, I didn't. These are actual images from his own telescope.
Sorry, Max, to interrupt again. I just have to say, that telescope, oh man, I am so jealous.
These are all images from his own telescope.
But wait, go back to the one of Jupiter spinning. So his telescope can give us images of Jupiter spinning live, but we can't get images like that of Earth from NASA. Like, come on.
Yeah, we definitely can get images like this from NASA. And what he does is, over the course of one night, he takes a bunch of pictures and then strings them together into an animation.
Just in case you missed it, because Nico was desperately trying to talk over the top to stop Max making his point. The images of Jupiter spinning is a time lapse. Over the course of a whole night, a bunch of images are taken, and then you just put them in sequence to produce the spinning image of the planet rotating. It's not CGI, it's not fake. It's just a series of photographs, which incidentally is what video is.
So your buddy was able to get this telescope on the tripod. His pulse wasn't able to vibrate it and make it blurry. He was able to zoom in and get this crisp, well, not crisp, but this blurry so-called image of Jupiter spinning without any interruption from all the forces that we're experiencing, without any space rocks getting him. How come we don't see any space rocks flying in between?
Hey, Nico.
Wow. So first of all, thank you for the super chat from Ironwork 92,000. Says Mikey Smith, horizontally opposed, the stars and moon. Get him on show ASAP, Nico. Great work. So yeah, let me know, Mikey Smith. I got to look into that. I appreciate the $5 Ironwork and the shout out to Mikey Smith. I'll be sure to get in touch. So thank you for that. So again, we're just following along Deadpool Debunk's review of the debate here. Biased review, mind that.
Is big.
Right? But yeah,
Because
if someone with a P900 Nikon, if they friggin' have a pulse, it's gonna vibrate. But with all the spinning and motion of the Earth and all the space rocks floating around in space, this guy can get an image like this through his damn telescope. You guys are such liars. They're so bad at it. And this is ridiculous. Anyone that's buying this and eats this up, that's it. You deserve what's coming to you.
What's up, Fake Flip and Flat Earth Warriors?
And myself is a big fat NASA shield checks.
You can talk to Astronomy Live. You can look at the amateur astronomy group near your area. You won't do that because you're afraid. You're afraid
how would I know? I'm not really scrolling and looking through some friggin' created world in a software system, right?
That is one option. I gave you another option. Go and meet the astronomy group in your area, which there's 100% an astronomy group near you. They're all over the globe. And you can look at the telescope through your own eyes. But you're afraid. You won't do that.
No, that's a waste of a trip. If I'm going to see what I just saw there with Jupiter and only one moon when it's said that there's 17, then I know it's crap. I know it's fake. There's no.
How
can't even explain where the other 16 moons are.
According to Nico, every single image ever taken by a telescope, whether it's from NASA, professional observatories, or even your local backyard astronomer like me, is actually just CGI. Because, of course, millions of amateur astronomers around the world are secretly all part of the global space conspiracy. It makes total sense, right? Here's the thing. These amateur astronomers all over the world with zero connection to NASA capture the exact same images using their own personal telescopes. Whether it's Saturn, Jupiter, the moon, or distant galaxies, anyone with the right equipment can point their telescope at the sky and see the same things. And just for kicks, let's point out that telescope images match up with what spacecraft have photographed from probes like Voyager and Cassini. So if all of it is fake, who's behind this global CGI conspiracy? Do we have a secret society of Photoshop wizards somewhere? I mean, if every single backyard astronomer is in on this thing, then I've got a couple of questions. One, where the hell is my paycheck? And two, who forgot to send me my secret decoder ring?
There's no.
How
Can't even
would-
explain where the
how
other
would-
16 moons are.
Nico, how would looking through a telescope and seeing Jupiter be fake? How would looking through a telescope and seeing Jupiter be fake? Answer the question.
Because what we saw doesn't add up with what the science
Nico,
says
if you
Jupiter
look,
is and
if
what
you
Jupiter
look
has,
through your,
and there's no 6 or 7 planets in between, so we don't see
oh my God, Nico, do
Uranus,
you
we
think
don't see
that
Neptune, Saturn.
all the
6 or 7 planets in between Mars and Jupiter. Let's just double check that because we can, because science is awesome. So if we count them off and have a look at what we've got now.
So yeah, obviously there's only one planet between Earth and Jupiter, but there's still like 3 or 4 planets behind Jupiter. And the fact that they're looking through a telescope and don't see Mars or anything in between or anything behind Jupiter is suspicious because they can't do it.
once every a whole bunch of years? That is just wild.
Yeah, 2,100 and something years, a Baktun or whatever they're calling. I know that the damn crap nonsense. It doesn't fit in with Bible
No, you don't. You don't know
cosmology.
nothing.
Yeah, it's made up. Every section of this science to do with space is made up, and it doesn't fit together. Everything the Bible says fits perfectly and fits with what we learn and
except
see and
when it
experience in
contradicts.
real life. Nothing that they
Except
give
when the
us
Bible
has
contradicts
anything to
itself.
do with this world. It's
Except
fake.
when it contradicts itself, Nico, you're so lost. You have no idea what you're doing.
And now, 16 minutes into the video, which was not the plan, we get to the part of the debate which inspired me making this video in the first place.
Hugh Haman,
Who
for-
Haman?
Hugh Haman, where 189 says, careful, look in the telescope, and they sodomize you.
Yes, they sodomize your eye. Oh, unironically, I've heard flat earthers say that NASA beams CGI images into telescopes. That's how desperate these motherfuckers are.
That's
Yeah, how is that not something that could be a possibility, right?
You didn't mishear that, so I'm going to play it again. Here's Max.
Unironically, I've heard flat earthers say that NASA beams CGI images into telescopes.
And then Nico says,
Yeah, how is that not something that could be a possibility, right?
ladies and gentlemen, Nico has uncovered the most secretive tech in the world. According to him, NASA is somehow sending fake images directly into telescope viewfinders, ensuring that everyone sees only what NASA wants them to see. Never mind the fact that, as Max said,
Dummy, you can buy a telescope that is just a tube with lenses.
think about how a telescope actually works. It's literally just a tube with mirrors or lenses that focus incoming light from.
Okay, so quickly we see Stephen Morrison here says pretty much expensive telescopes, they all have software in them, and they know this. That's what I'm trying to say. Is that yes, the telescopes that you buy at Best Buy or Walmart or Walgreens, wherever you're buying your $200, $300, even $1,000 telescope, it's going to be crap, right? And they don't care. That's why they're selling it. But the ones that they're using are hooked up to wires and computers and have software in them that can be manipulated. And yes, NASA can beam CGI images into these telescopes. So it's not that far-fetched at all.
Celestial objects. It doesn't receive transmissions. It doesn't have a built-in display. It's not a VR headset. There's no microchips or computer chips or Wi-Fi adapters or anything of the sort. But playing devil's advocate, the only way NASA could send images into a telescope would be if, one, every telescope on Earth secretly had a built-in screen NASA could control. Two, NASA was able to project high-resolution images into thin air, which, let's be honest, would be incredible technology. And three, every independent astronomer was in on this. If NASA really had this power, don't you think they'd use it for something more useful? Like, I don't know, beaming Wi-Fi into my house so I don't have to reset the router every other day? So let's put this claim to the ultimate test. Given that I own a Newtonian telescope, let's take a little tour inside and see if NASA has secretly installed any high-tech image projection systems in there. But to do this right, because I recorded it with my phone, we have to go vertical. Ooh, this is exciting.
That's it. So he goes into sharing his own telescope that is not one of these high-powered, very expensive ones hooked up with the software. So again, just trying to make me look foolish and believe in dumb stuff about AI robots and autonomous driving vehicles and NASA beaming footage into expensive telescopes that have software. So again, all very possible. Yeah, so it's been great. So that's what's been going on. Hopefully no one requests any more debates because it takes a lot of work, especially if I'm not used to doing it, or you know what I mean? So the first one I did with Culture Cats was a scientific debate, and that was tough because this guy is a teacher for over a quarter century, right? 25 years or whatever. So he's a smart guy. So it was tough. Put in a lot of work trying to prepare for it, but I didn't want to over prepare, and because again, you could destroy yourself doing that too. So again, they all went pretty well. And then the one with Max was just a biblical debate. So I went from doing just the straight science one to the biblical one. So in 1 week. So that was where I put a lot of my time into preparing for these debates, because these guys requested it and were hounding me in my emails. So I did agree to do it. So I'm just going to go through some of these comments, and yeah, that's going to be it for today. So we can safely say that the community now knows that it's Eric Dubay is the thief. We've got word from Culture Cats, from Deadpool Debunks, from Jeranism himself. So again, so thanks to True Christian for putting pressure on them, because he saw immediately that they were crediting Dubay from one of Dave McKeegan's videos and stuff. So yeah, appreciate that. I see David Many in the chat. Good to see you, brother. Carl Taylor says, in 10 years, I think you are my favorite. Big call from me. Wow. Thank you, Carl Taylor. Huge, Carl Taylor says. Casey Lear says, there's been countless people with telescopes showing what looks like a light in a pool, and others showing fake-looking planets that key evidence don't ever rotate or show a different face. Exactly what I have seen. So everything we've seen with actual telescopes that aren't hooked up to the internet give a light in the water, right? And then all these other ones from the Vatican's Lucifer telescope, they all show these CGI images of the planets that look like they came straight out of a Disney cartoon. Flat Earth Warriors is saying to look up MC Escher and Leonardo da Vinci's star drawings, same as Nikon P1000. Proof P900 and P1000 can be used. Thank you for that, Flat Earth Warriors. Flat Earth New Zealand says, nice words, Carl. So yeah, we have the whole world in on this, whether it's the globe debunkers or flat earth debunkers. It's both sides, and it's all over the world. Like we just watched Deadpool Debunks is there from Australia. We got Culture Cats there in Britain. We got some of them in Scotland, Brazil, Canada, America, the whole world. You're welcome, says True Christian. Appreciate you, brother. Let me just change the options on the sound here. Sorry. Code cancellation. Hopefully that's a bit better. Still going to sort the audio out, how I can not have to switch between when I want to play the audio from the computer. So I think I'm going to have to change software soon. Pretty much, yep, the globe model, it's a joke. You got to grow up and grow out of that child cartoon Disney programming. Am I louder now? Hopefully not too loud. So yeah, Pluto seems to never change its face. Venus, Saturn, they never change. Loose Sapphire says, Eric has always used others' material to make his. He admits that he does this. Yeah, but I've had this done to me too many times now from within the freedom movement over the last 5 years. I've had Masonic characters such as Chris Sky and all the other jokers in the movement take my ideas and my work and pass it off as their own. And all of my initiatives when it came to Soji and the LGBT and the drag queens that we were going after, everyone saw the impact I was making with it, and everyone decided to jump on board and pretend it was there. So it's been tough, especially when you're going up against people like Eric Dubay that have the huge following that they do compared to my minimal one, right? So even if I do something first and only 5 people see it, and then he posts the exact same thing 2 weeks later and 1 million people see it, who's going to think who did what first? So that's what I'm going up against, these Masons, these CIA agents, these shills that have been given these huge followings, so people think they're the guy, that's the gal, right? But no, that's the shill, that's the agent, that's the deceiver, that's the anti-Christ. And once you start looking into all of it, especially True Christians exposed all of them, every single one of these people are anti-Christ and anti-Bible. So we're going to get them out, push them aside, And the Bible is what we're coming with: biblical earth, biblical truth, prophecies, revelation, and times. Yeah. Disney dog Pluto is on Pluto. Look at that. What a joke. Louder and sounding fine. Thank you. So even if Eric admits he is a plagiarist, that still would not make plagiarism okay. It's never okay. Yeah, they've done the same to me, says Lou Sapphire. So you can tell you're genuine just in the way you present your stuff, Nico. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm just doing everything authentically and honestly, the way I see it. So nothing hidden or organized or given to me by anyone else. It's no script, no outside source telling me or influencing me. So I'm glad you see that. Agreed, says Carl Taylor. Yeah, Eric has no original thoughts. Yeah, lots of small mistakes. I just go with the flow, improvise as I go. I don't spend, there's no time to spend hours planning to do a 2 hour, like I just do it, right? Yeah, I bring up some websites that I know is going to go over. That's just notes, right? So yeah, I appreciate that. It's the best way to do it. So I don't like to pre-record and edit and make everything look all glitzy and glamorous and fault-free and perfect. You know, that's not human. Humans are full of error, right? Which is how I realized that the whole Tartaria mud flood thing was a psyop and goes against Bible prophecy. God saying there would only be one flood. So to add another flood, I knew right away was man-made or created by man, the story. So yeah, humans are full of error. And the fact that we have these structures worldwide that are perfect, no fault, not one stone cracked or missing or out of, everything is aligned perfect, and humans don't work that way. Sad to say. That's what makes us human. Is, you know, perfect is and imperfect is what makes us perfect, if you know what I mean. So thanks. Definitely not blocking or banning comments. YouTube is the one that does that. So if you go and start typing something really disgusting, it's not me, it would instantly be banned by YouTube. Thank you. Alicia Rodriguez says it's from the heart, soul, and Holy Spirit. Yes, thank you so much, love. And Flat Earth has given us some more people to look up. Guy Consolmagno. So Guy Consolmagno, top Jesuit astronomer, says Earth is flat. Of course it is. I think I just saw that Globey. The email did pop up. So I sent you an email if you're interested in a one-on-one. Let me know for sure. Globey McGlobeface. So thanks for watching and tuning in and commenting and sending the email. I'll get back to you in a bit. True Christian says 95% of Eric's content is copied from godly Christians who wrote in the 1800s and 1900s. So without Dubay standing on the shoulders of those great Christians, then Dubay would have almost zero material. And that's exactly what they do. They take the work and ideas and designs that God gave Christians, and they take it for themselves and try to remove the God part, the Jesus part, and just pretty much blaspheme and fornicate all over it. Yes, it does. Lacey Lavender, YouTube blocks truthful comments too. I've had to go into my banned comments and try to see what's going on. And yeah, I'm like, why is this blocked and banned? Then I have to say, accept this and put it in the comments. So Syed says, it's easy to see the obvious plants, but the ones you really need to look out for are literally right in front of you guys. Casey Lear says the claim our ancestors were Neanderthal, yet build structures we can't replicate, maps the stars and the continents. Oh yeah, I'm convinced our ancestors were numpties. Haha, sarcasm. Great one. So yeah, let me know if you want to get back onto that whole Tartaria, fallen angel created buildings and structures, the old world order. So I definitely want to get back onto that soon. We do need to go over the transpocalypse and all the secret inverts and the Baphomets and Hollywood, the music industry, TV, just everywhere. So there's lots to go over. Flat Earth is obviously an important part to waking up to truth, but it doesn't save you. It doesn't grant you salvation, whether you believe it or not. Only Jesus and submitting to Jesus Christ does that. So again, yes, we are pro flat Earth and push and share the information, but it's not make or break for your salvation. I just want to make that clear. Lou Sapphire says, other big YouTubers ban me from commenting for not reinforcing the echo chamber. We see that a lot. A lot. Seems like it. Mr. Put Them in the Ground says, so is Jaren a globe earther now? I guess everyone would know better than myself, but to me, definitely globe earther. Speaks like one, acts like one, responds like one. He's doing everything. They love him now, so yeah. Yeah, Dubai is good entry to flat Earth. Lacey Lavender says, I'm in the croquet community and noticed that there are reptilians amongst them. I saw her fangs and eyes shifting. They're everywhere. The demon possessed. I don't think there is such thing as reptilians. Yeah, the bloodline is the Hamite bloodline. The Canaanite bloodlines are serpent seeded. So they're just demon possessed. Tartarians don't build beautiful impossible churches. Those were millennial kingdom architecture. No, that was antediluvian architecture built and created by the fallen angels when they descended on the earth and corrupted all DNA that God created, not just in human women and human men that ended up resulting in the Nephilim. They fornicated with the birds, with the animals of the sea, the fish, the animals of the land, giraffes. That's where all these beasts came from, and griffins and unicorns and dragons. So definitely not millennial kingdom. That has not happened yet. Someone says serpent seed is false doctrine. Well, I'd like to see what you have to disprove it, because I got a lot of scripture and a lot of proof that pushes that yes, there is a serpent seed. Starting with Cain, from Cain and Abel, he was of that wicked one. Thank you, Casey. Says, flat earth is just a door to discover salvation through Jesus, evidence of God, his handiwork. So they hid it. Yeah, so I'm just quickly scanning through the comments and then I'm going to be signing out. So that's it. So thank you everyone for jumping on and watching and going through some of the rebuttals. First of all, the initial, Nico's a thief. He stole from Eric Dubay, the big popular flat earther. And I was like, no. I don't take from nobody. If I wanted to take from Dubay, I would have taken a long time ago. But I have my own work, my own ideas, right? So the fact that he took from us and then just posted and disappeared and started this whole Nico's a thief, I'm like, you disgusting imbecile. Like, I'm going to clean this up and make sure. And thank you again to Culture Cats for doing what you did, for paying attention and just telling it how it is. And everyone else had to look into it and be like, oh, damn it. So we were wrong. Even Jaron Campanella, newly returned Globa, had to come out and say that, yes, Eric Dubay is the dirtball of the week, even though he knew that already. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. TFE, we're going to be doing a big, what has it been, 2 months now? Coming up 2 months since the fake experiment. So do we need to do a big recap, I guess? Put this thing to rest. It's been 2 months. They got nothing solid to bring to the table. They brought nothing in the last month. So again, I'm pretty sure they're still going to try and post videos, heavily edit videos now, probably just post a friggin' documentary movie and that will be it. Like, that's it. They're not convincing anyone that they really went to Antarctica. They're not convincing anyone that the footage of this sun was seen for 24 hours. So they're done. Hashtag done. So we'll be recapping it, I'll be compiling a bunch of things. So if anyone wants to jump on, that will be a great show. And just to talk about it and get it all out and said and done so we can move on, because there's big things in the works coming our way, that this whole TFE thing, it needs to be put to rest and laid to rest and sent off, that it's done. So yeah, too much stuff. They're going to say stuff now. I've stopped listening until I can see some actual evidence, which they clearly don't have. We know they do not have it. So it's done. I'm ready to move on from TFE, and we're going to do a big recap and make sure, try to include everything, right? And that's going to be it. Quickly from True Christian says, Dubay does a lot worse than only stopping short on Jesus. Dubay proactively speaks against him and in favor of Lucifer and Kundalini, who is also Satan. So God bless everyone. I'm out, and I'll see you all sometime soon. God bless.